Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hashtag Eurovision. I'm here today to interview Red Sebastian, that will represent Belgium at the Eurovision 2025 in Basel, in Switzerland. So, yeah, welcome to the Hashtag Eurovision community. Really nice to have you here.
It's so nice to be here. I really am enjoying it all and can't wait for Eurovision to start.
Yeah. It's not less than 1 month. No, 1 month and a half actually from this
Yeah,
interview. But it passed by very quickly, I believe, with all the pre-parties and all the things that you have to prepare. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. And yeah, I have a set of questions that I'd like to ask you about your career, about your song. But I'd like to start particularly about your name, Red Sebastian, that I read that is a direct reference to The Little Mermaid. Please
yes,
correct me if I'm wrong.
yes, that's correct. Actually, I grew up loving The Little Mermaid and also the little crab in it called Sebastian, and is the one who sings under the sea, and it's really, yeah, I related to him so much, and you know, red has always been my favorite color, and
Mhm.
as I grew up, I knew I was going to sing in English because I wanted to go international. And my real name Sepahedamon is not really easy pronounceable for like other countries maybe, so I thought of having a more international name. And red, that color stands for passion, love, fieriness and stuff like that, and that's all that I want to express on stage, and that combined with the little reference to the Little Mermaids, it made the perfect stage name for me, and it feels right. And I think if it feels right, it is right.
No, definitely. Yeah, and I was about to ask you if this specific character, the Little Mermaid, resonated with you, but I can see that it's more Sebastian,
Yeah,
the crab.
yeah.
And is that related to the fact that I saw that you are from a coastal city in Belgium, Ostend? I'm no idea
Yeah,
how to pronounce
yeah.
it.
It's
Um,
Austin. I was born there, and also I think it's a nice, it's a nice relationship because I know the sea has always played a big part of my life. My mom is a school teacher, and every summer it's like 2 months of vacation, and we were every day that it was like sunny, we were at the beach, and I grew up on the beach actually. So it's a nice link with the Little Mermaid as well, that it's like very coastal and sea-ish. So yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I definitely understand if you grew up close to the sea, close to the ocean, having these reference, it's always important, and you made it your artistical identity. And talking about this, do you think that because of the fact that you grew up so close to the sea and in the city, do you think that that influenced your artistic expression in any way? Because as you just mentioned, it like molded your personality, but on an artistic way. Do you think you have any inspirations that you bring from that place, your hometown?
I think my hometown is always gonna inspire me, and if it's not for like my hometown, it's gonna be for like my family or my friends who live there. So I'm always gonna be inspired by it, and yeah, I mean, I'm still going there every week to visit my family and my friends. Now it's a bit harder because of my busy schedule, but I love it there. So yeah, it's always going to be a big part of me.
Oh, that's great to hear, that you still have you're really close to the roots,
Yeah.
to your roots. But yeah, touching more on the subject about your musical education, that I saw that you studied at the Royal Academy of Fine Arts, KASK. I don't know if
Yeah.
pronounced like this, in Ghent or Ghent, if you if you want to try to pronounce it more correctly. And under the guidance of Gustaph, that people also know because he participated at Eurovision. And I'd like to know that it must have been very impactful, I believe. but I'd like to know how did this formal training contributed to your growth as a vocalist, and what kind of techniques or pieces of advice you kept from these education that you got.
Well, for me, it was very much, a real journey to study there at the conservatory, because it brought me a lot of, wisdom about my voice and, techniques and stuff like that. And yeah, actually, one of my teachers there was Gustaph, and it was wonderful to have him as my teacher, because he has a bit of like the same range, and his voice works in a similar way that mine works. It's also, it's very interesting for me as a guy to have a male teacher, because the voice works in a similar way that my previous singing teachers, who were all women, didn't really, I mean, I learned a lot from them too, but the fact that Gustav is also a man, and also, his voice works in the same way, made it easy for me to learn from him. So yeah, it was very fun to study there, and to learn techniques, and be busy with it for like 5 years over there, because I also like started performing when I was in school, and I really feel like I did a lot of experience over there. And also, out of school, the last 3 years were busy with me like performing, not in the spotlights, but doing a lot of corporate events and doing a lot of weddings and stuff like that. So I really, have a lot of experience in that kind of aspect of the scene. So it helps me, because, what if on one of the pre-parties the sound would, fall off? I have that happen to me in the past, and I think that makes me more kind of, um, knowing that it's not the end of the world, and that I can, go past it, and that I'll make it work, and that's something that I'm really happy for. And also that I think the timing is right, that I'm going to represent Belgium now, and not 1 year or 2 years ago, because that would have been too early for me.
No, yeah, that's good that you have that sense like it's the right time. And also like you started, now that you mentioned like Gustav being your teacher, and yeah, as I mentioned, he also participated. Was him like an inspiration for you, or he, I don't know, woke up in you this sense or desire to participate at Eurovision one day?
Well, actually, my dream of being on the Eurovision stage has been like since I was very little. So, I mean, I grew up watching the Junior Eurovision Song Contest, and that was really a holiday for me. And then I grew up watching Lordi and Alexander Rybak, and those acts, but also Loreen really clicked it for me in my head, and made me want to be on that stage so badly, that I worked so hard for it. And then it was really a coincidence that Gustav, did Eurosong, the pre-selections in Belgium for me. I didn't expect it, and but from the moment that I knew he had a chance of winning and going to represent Belgium, that I was fully supportive. He was my teacher. I don't think he was my teacher anymore, because I graduated in 2022, and he went for Belgium in
Yeah.
2023. So, but I was in full support mode. It was wonderful to see him like making his dreams come true, really. And I mean, now it's very, very nice to have someone who has, the experience of doing Eurovision, and I can call him anytime. I can meet up with him anytime, and he'll guide me through the adventure. He's gonna say what not to do, what to do, what to watch out for, and it feels safe having him as a kind of mentor in that way.
Oh, that feels, yeah, that sounds great that you have some support there of someone with experience that
Yeah,
will let you know what you should enjoy the most and what you should
yeah.
pay attention to. So yeah, and now more specifically about your song, your winning song, "Strobe Lights," that is basically a tribute to the Belgian rave culture.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on your connection to that scene and what actually inspired you for this song? And also because yeah, we everyone knows that Belgium has a massive tradition of EDM, electronic dance music, with festivals like Tomorrowland. I'd like to understand if these also influence the music that you are creating, and to a
Well,
certain extent.
I wrote 12 songs for Eurosong for the pre-selections, and Strobe Lights was actually the last of the 12 songs. And I hadn't created the club banger yet, and I wanted to create that club banger that I was like, okay, nobody's gonna be on the side of like the club anymore, and they all gonna want to dance. And that really is that song for me, and it came to life on like the thought of going out with your friends, having a good time, and knowing where it starts, but not knowing where it ends or where the night will take you. So I really wanted to pay an homage to life, and like, um, you know, just enjoy life. That's really the message behind the song. And of course, it's so nice to like do something very Belgium, because we have a rich culture and history in the dance EDM scene in the late 90s. Like that rave dance techno culture is really present here in Belgium, and with Tomorrowland and all those electronic festivals, it's really living here. And I thought, you know what would be greater than to represent Belgium with something very Belgian. And it feels great to bring that part of Belgium to like the Eurovision Song Contest.
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree that is a banger, and it's a song that stands out for sure. And talking more particularly about the lyrics, you have parts of your song that mention like falling where up is down, screaming but won't make a sound, or flying deep underground. Silence never felt so loud. There's a lot of contrasts in your lyrics, like these opposites up and down. How do you want to translate these, or will translate these visually at the stage? We already saw your performance at Eurosong, but I don't know if we are thinking about improving this part or making it more obvious.
Well, I can't really tell you a lot about the act because
Mhm.
I'm not allowed. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, we're working hard on it, and it's definitely going to be very clubby. And yeah, it's going to be great. So I I only can say there are going to be a lot of red elements and a lot of strobe lights.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Just to finalize, one question still about your lyrics. That you have references such as "Alice, show me your hand, take it to Wonderland." You have these references to "In Wonderland," through the Looking Glass. I would like to know why did you decide to make these references in the song to Alice and these references, and what is the message and meaning behind those?
I think for me, like being in the club and dancing and feeling free, connects a lot with like I mean, I'm a Disney kid. You heard it with like the Little Mermaid. Alice in Wonderland is for me that world where nothing is too weird and nothing is too strange, and everything's possible. And that for me is in the club as well. You're vibing, and you're stepping into that dream world when you are like clubbing and dancing. And what's also like kind of the Eurovision world, because nothing's too weird, everything is possible. And that's something that I wanted to incorporate in the song, because it's really important to me that everyone keeps on dreaming, and yeah, takes it, give it their all in life. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, that sounds inspiring. And just to wrap up our interview, now I just have a note here that you will be competing on the first semi-final. That is actually the day of your 26th birthday as well.
Right.
So it will be really interesting to see. But I'd like to for you to leave a message to the Portuguese fans and the Hashtag Eurovision fans that will watch this interview.
Yes. So thank you a lot to my Portuguese fans, and yeah, it's been a wonderful ride so far, and I hope to qualify on my birthday on that first semifinal. So make sure to vote for me if you want to, and we'll make a big party of it at Eurovision. So I hope to meet you all there and to give you a great time.
Amazing. Sounds really good. Thank you so much for your time. We are at a time. Thanks so much for your chats. And yeah, I
Thank
can't wait
you.
to see you
Bye,
performing
Gustaph.
in May. Thank you so much.
Bye.